Hi, my name is Cavin Kleinsteuber Phung, and I'm a student of management major from University of Pembangunan Nasional. In this video, I want to tell a story from Nanggroe Aceh Darussalam. Title is The Commander and the Youngman. So I hope you all enjoy this video, and let me start. Once upon a time, in Time Youngland, there was a kingdom ruled by the king and his queen. But unfortunately, they didn't have a daughter. The queen and the king has been waiting for the baby for a long time, but until now, they still don't have a baby. One day, in their desperation, the king and the queen make a promise. They swore that if the queen born a little girl, they would give the baby to the king of the elephant. Not too long after their promise, the queen pregnant, and after 9 months, the queen born a cute little girl. But the king had forgotten of his oath to the king of elephant. The king made the biggest mistake he ever did. After the baby reached the age of 44 days, the baby must go through a traditional ceremony. The ceremony is for the baby to step on the soil for the first time and cut the baby hair for the first time. But unfortunately, in the middle of the ceremony, at the same time, came a group of elephants from the jungle. A group of these elephants took the baby away to the dark forest, a place where the king of the elephant lived. The king remembered his little poor girl. After about 15 years later, he announced to all the people in the country, and he said, for those who could bring the princess back to the kingdom, he will become the next king, and the queen and the princess as the queen. There is a well-known commander in the country. Name is Commander Sekunca, and there's also a handsome young man took this part of this contest. Commander Sekunca is always underestimate this young man, and he thought he was the strongest man in the country. But actually, he was a weak commander and a stubborn man. Commander Sekunca arrived in the forest first. He found the big trees fall down on the ground. When he saw it, he felt so afraid, and he felt something dangerous could be happening to himself. So he decided to wait for the young man. Not for long, the young man arrived next to the commander. Then they walked together to journey the forest. In the middle of their journey, finally they found the place. They saw a group of the elephant gathered themselves, and they also saw a pretty princess was sitting in the midst of the group elephant. Commander Sekunca felt so afraid seeing the situation. He wanted to run away from this place. To hide Sekunca's fears, then he asked the young man to fight with the elephants first. When the young man fight with the elephant, Commander Sekunca left the place. This young man had a magical power and a big brave. He had also a magic sword. With this sword, he can kill all the elephants, including the king of the elephant. After the big fight, the princess still sitting in the midst of elephant dead body. The young man saved the princess, and he took her back to the kingdom. In the middle of the young man and princess journey, they met Commander Sekunca. Commander Sekunca could not accept this reality. He doesn't agree if the young man married with the princess, so he made an evil plan. Commander Sekunca pushed the young man into the deep pool in the middle of the jungle. In this way, Sekunca can substitute the man and brought princess to the kingdom, and he will proclaim himself. He can kill all the elephant, including the king of the elephant. When Sekunca and princess arrived to the kingdom, the king and all of the people in the country were so happy. The palace made some ceremony for them. And the king thought, Sekunca is a hero, and he will become the next king for saving my beloved princess. The king announced to his people that soon the Panglima Sekunca will marry with the princess, but at the same time, Princess told, Commander Sekunca is not a person who has saved me. In the fact, the person who has saved me is a young man. The king is very confused about it, and then he decided to cancel the ceremony for 7 days, and the king will wait the young man in 7 days. In the jungle, the young man could save himself from the dark well. During his return to the castle, he fought with many wild animals. The young man couldn't reach the place at 7th day, but he reached the palace in the next day. When the commander Sekunca and princess do a wedding ceremony, a young man arrived. The young man showed himself in the middle of crowded. This attendants of young men stopped the wedding ceremony. The young man tried to convince the king and he said, I saved your daughter, I saved the princess. But the commander Sekunca still insisted that he was the man who saved the princess. There is many debate between the commander Sekunca and the young man, and then the king stopped the debate. The king announced the duel between Commander Sekunca and the young man. The fight between Commander Sekunca and the young man took a whole day, for 3 days, and the Panglima Sekunca lost in the fight, and he considering he was a strong and a tricky. The young man won the fight because he was an honest man and very, very brave. After all, the young man married with the princess and become a good king. They ruled the kingdom wisely and they live happily ever after. The end. So thank you for watching my telling story, and bye bye.